what happens is that when the father, specifically which had happened in previous generation, when the father abuses the wife, the mother of the children, the kind of example which he sets for the female child is that this is how a man treats his wife in the marriage. This is the kind of example which he sets for the female child. And for the male child, the example which is being set is that this is how you shouldn't be treating your wife in the marriage. The example which is set for the female child is exactly the opposite to the male child, because their thought process is developing in an opposing manner, because both are opposite creations of nature, right? Opposing psychologies. What happens is that when the female child sees the father abusing the mother, she immediately makes up her mind that the way my father is beating my mother, I wouldn't be tolerating such kind of nonsense from my husband. That is the psychology which gets created within a female child. The way my father is swearing on my mother, if my husband swears on me, I'll swear back on him. If my husband hits me once, I'll hit him twice. In previous generation, if you observe, women were not the bread earners. That is why they were enforced by their situations in such a way that they couldn't get out of the marriage. Because how would they feed their children if they would get out of the marriage? Not possible, right? So in that situation, they made up their mind that first what I will do is that first I'll earn a lot of money, so that if my husband commits any sort of nonsense, if he abuses me or swears on me, then I will just get out of the relationship, because right now I have become financially independent. Now, if you observe in today's date, majority of the women are talking about financial independence. This is the root cause. This is the psychology of it. Now, what kind of thought process does a male child? The female child's brother is witnessing the similar kind of thing which is going on in front of his eyes. But psychology which develops within a male child is completely opposite. The kind of thought process which develops within a male child is that the way my father is abusing my mother, I wouldn't abuse my wife in such a way. She thinks that I wouldn't receive such kind of abuse. He thinks that I wouldn't abuse. Kindly observe, right? She thinks that I will not tolerate the way my father is swearing at my mother from my husband. He thinks that I will not swear at my wife. Right? She says that I will not tolerate such kind of nonsense language. He says that I will not use such kind of nonsense language. Right? The kind of psychology which develops is that I wouldn't suppress my wife. I wouldn't exploit the vulnerability of my wife. I would give her a lot of love. I would give her a lot of care. Now, if you observe, within the childhood itself, the male child is developing compassion, sympathy, love, and all sorts of positive emotions towards the future wife. Because the parents are the primary husband and wife figure for the children, right? But the kind of psychology which a female develops is that she's already developing lot of hatred, the feeling of revenge, anger, ego against the future husband. If you observe, she's already preparing for divorce way before she even knows that who her future husband is going to be. That means that future husband is gonna be screwed. This is happening on an unconscious level. I'm not saying that women are doing it deliberately. They do not know that why is there so much of resistance within me? If you observe in today's date, again I cannot generalize it, but majority of the wife do not listen to husband. Husbands usually have these complaints. I have met so many husbands in the counseling sessions as well as one-on-one talks where they had said to me that their wife do not listen to them. That means they are in a mode of resistance, and resistance is a creation of enforcement. That means they became so much resistant against their husbands in the childhood itself, right? What happens is that their fathers create lot of anger within the female child against a husband as an identity, against a man as an identity. That is why, if you observe, it is usually said by women that all men are like that only. This has become a common saying, right? So they develop a certain kind of hatred against the husband figure, against men as an identity on a common level. And this anger is created by their fathers, and they reserve that anger. They reserve their anger for the future husband. And they remove all that anger on their future husbands, and they do not even know that why the hell are they removing that anger. The husband is also in a confused situation. They're like, why the hell is she behaving in such a way? And she's like, my husband is giving me so much of love, why do not I listen to him? Because this is going on in an unconscious level. These are childhood traumas. Getting rid of childhood traumas is not so easy. It's very, very damn hard, and this is what is transferring from one generation to another. Maybe next time we would be expanding on it more further, because there is a certain kind of psychology with these previous generation men had developed as well. It is connected with the generation of our grandparents and great grandparents, as I said in the starting itself. So this is
Mhm.
the crux of the problem, and it's just childhood traumas which is transferring from one generation to another, which is commonly known as generational traumas.